Welcome everyone to episode 30 of the Video Game Book Club. I'm Tubby Mora, and today I'm joined by my good friend Soul Charizard. Say hello, dude.
Hello.
So this time around, we are going to be focusing on Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. The game was developed by Omega Force, published by Nintendo, and was originally released on November 20th, 2020 on the Nintendo Switch. And before we get started, I would like to point out that we played the entire game locally in a co-op mode and on the same Nintendo Switch console against our better judgment. But anyways, on the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity official website, it reads, quote, "Join the battle to defend Hyrule a century before the events that occurred in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game. Play as Link, Zelda, the champions, and more as you take on the enemy in epic battles." So the order we will be presenting will be Soul first, and then me, Tubby Mora. And please note that spoilers are on the table. You have been warned, but if it's anything major, we will most likely tell you to skip ahead. So let's get started. Question 1. Describe the game in one sentence.
You just feel stronger in this fight when fighting monsters.
All right.
Next.
I would describe it easy. Hyrule Warriors: Age of catastrophic frame rate drops.
Oh my god.
No, I'm going hard, man. I'm going hard.
I should have said something else to that.
It's all good.
Oh well, too late now.
Let's go to question 2. I mean, we kind of answered this, but what platform did you play the game on, and briefly describe your playstyle towards the game?
As said before, I played this on the Switch locally, and I just hit the simplest 2 buttons most of the time, the X and Y button with a little bit of the ZR button. But I guess we can talk about that more as to why that's a thing.
Yeah. Pretty. Describe like what characters did you gravitate towards? Like who did you use most of the time? Stuff like that.
Yeah. I use mostly the Rito characters.
Yeah, Rito Squad. Yep.
Oh my gosh! And then I think I played a little bit. I think like before that, I think it was like Impa and Zelda. Since you.
Oh yeah, that's true. We didn't have a whole lot of selection in the beginning.
Yeah. And it's not too bad. I kind of like it.
But the Bird Boys,
oh my gosh,
they won you over.
They did. They were something, man.
Dude, they were fun. Like I didn't play them a whole lot, but when I did have to like switch over to what was his name, Teba?
Yeah.
Dude, I can see why you enjoy playing them. Their amount of arrow spam is insane.
Yeah.
It's just like the sensory overload when you're pressing that firing button.
And then there's Urbosa. When we got her,
yeah.
Good lord,
she
not only
strong.
Brings down the frame rate, but she brings down crazy amounts of destruction of lightning.
Yeah, yeah, and she's a ton of fun. I love playing her too.
But it kind of sucks that we couldn't play her more often. But I'm guessing if we did play her more often, I'm pretty sure our frame rates would plummet.
Yeah.
And again, true. I'm surprised I just switched managed to hold. It didn't smoke or anything.
Dude. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. Don't you worry.
We will.
We'll get there. We'll get there. There's a long road ahead in this video game book club.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
All right, next.
Okay. So as it was mentioned before, we played the entire game fully co-op style on the same Nintendo Switch console. This is, I would like to also point out, this is the standard Switch. This is like the first generation, like year 1 launch Switch. So maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. I used a Pro Controller the entire time. Soul used a wired controller. I think it was Power A, and I think it had like the Bowser design on it.
Yeah, isn't the Pro Controller, or is that different?
No. The Pro Controller is like the super overpriced Nintendo one that's wireless.
Okay.
Yeah, it has like a little bit more weight to it. It can read amiibos and stuff like that. Features that don't even use.
Wired controllers don't do that.
No. Because it costs extra to add those kind of features.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense.
I mean, we don't even really use amiibo, so I kind of figured no point of doing it.
Yeah.
Let's see. In terms of character choices, I played Link quite a bit actually, mostly by necessity, not by choice. I mean, he's pretty fun. He's kind of the jack of all trades. Use any weapon type you want. I try to run him using claymores because I freaking love big ass swords, but it just didn't feel right using it, knowing that I had the Master Sword with me. So yeah, I pretty much swapped over to Link with the Master Sword. Or scratch that. I actually used the wooden sword for most of the game. Yeah, because I think that came with the game because I had Breath of the Wild. I had a Breath of the Wild save data on there, I think. Because that wooden sword was more powerful than most of the weapons in the game, which was funny. So, yeah.
I think it was like the strongest starter weapon, I guess.
It was, dude. It was kind of insane. That's why, in my mind, I was like, why bother changing the weapon when this wooden sword is so OP?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, doesn't it?
It doesn't, but I mean, we did a lot of things in the game that don't make sense.
True. Yeah, like with Link being half naked.
Shirtless Link, end of the game. Let us know in the comments section if that's what you did too. Anyways, a lot of Link, mostly by necessity. When I did have a choice, though, I usually went for the big boy characters, like the heavy characters, like my boy Daruk, the Gorons. I actually didn't like the, spoiler alert. I didn't like that other kid. I'm not going to say the name. You know who I'm talking about. The other Goron.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I forgot that. I don't know his name.
Yeah. Wasn't a big fan of him. I really enjoyed playing King Rome. Like, he was a ton of fun. I really wish he was in the beginning of the game, though, so I could have used him.
But then that would be no fun, though.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
He was pretty OP.
Yeah. It's going to change your whole liking of characters in a different way.
Oh, yeah. I would easily have put Link. I'll say, sorry, Link, you're in timeout. King Rome's here.
You know what's interesting, though? That's the first time we ever seen a king, like, King of Hyrule, like, out in a fight like that.
Yeah.
Or ever, like, see him, like, in, like, a full cutscene or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because in other Zeldas, there's not even a mention of him.
I mean, in Breath of the Wild, he was there, but it was so brief. It was literally the first hour in the game.
I mean, like in the beginning of the other Zelda series, like Ocarina of Time or not Majora's Mask. I mean, there's like time we see him in Wind Waker, but it's just like,
but not as this developed, right?
Yeah, as this developed.
Yeah, and that is one of the coolest things about this game is just you get to see all these quote unquote side characters get developed more. But we'll talk more about that in the next section. To wrap this up, we mostly played primarily the main missions. If we did go over to the side quests or side missions, usually we would be focusing on our own characters, the ones we like to play a lot. Like we would do the quests to get their skills or their attacks increased, or their attack combos increased, their health, etc.
Signature moves,
signature move bars. But most of the time we mostly went for the primary story missions. But yeah, that's how I played the game and how we played the game in general. Let's go to question 3. What are 3 things you liked about the game? And we will be alternating when answering this question.
Okay, so I like the story. It changes up a bit. I really thought it was going to follow up with how the
oh my god, dude!
Thing went.
I am with you, man.
Breath of the Wild, but no.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert.
No, I was. It just took a whole left turn. It just went like a whole 180 and just said, "Nope, you're not going to that path yet."
Yeah,
or how I think it would go.
And
that was.
If you're listening, this is a big spoiler, so you can skip ahead if you want. But I agree with Soul 100%. That was the biggest question we were wondering was what will happen once we reach the current timeline? Like what happens when the champions meet their end? And so what happened? What happened, dude? You tell them.
Honestly, I was expecting the future champions to be showing up like that. And what's funny is that I only played like Breath of the Wild. I only played bits of the Breath of the Wild, and I went to the Zora one first, and then I started working up to the Rito area.
Mm-hmm.
So I only know those two.
Oh, really? So you didn't know about Daruk and...
Yeah, I tried going there, but I think I got stuck on something. I couldn't advance because of the whole heat issue thing.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
And then I think I think I took I got a little sidetracked going to the Gerudo Desert.
So did you dress up Link?
No, I didn't get a chance
Dang,
to get.
unlucky.
I know that was a thing when Breath of the Wild came out before Age of Calamity. But yeah, that's how far I've gotten. I haven't done anything else. I think I was like focused on like getting Link like better equipment, better experience and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, but it's just like, huh.
Yeah. And that was actually one of the reasons why, because Soul and I, we were looking for a game to play, and then this one was the one I recommended, because this game kind of serves as a prequel to Breath of the Wild, and I know Soul wants to play Breath of the Wild, especially with Breath of the Wild 2 around the corner. Yeah. So we figured playing this would be a good experience to lead into Breath of the Wild, so it kind of gives them like a backstory of how everything happened. So
I think I was gonna... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure if this is gonna be a bit, but I was like thinking like I feel like we hit something that caused like a good ending instead of the true ending of the whole Age of Calamity thing.
Yeah,
like Breath of the Wild. Just like if you miss this part of this quest, you get the true ending of how the whole Breath of the Wild started and stuff like that. But no.
Okay. So the story though, you really enjoyed it.
I really liked it. It was a little bit different than what I expected.
Yeah, because most Zelda games, they have story in them, but not to like. This is the first time we've seen so much, I guess, depth when it comes to the story since what's that game on the Wii? Skyward Sword, right?
No.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, that one had a lot of story moments too, especially between Link and Zelda.
But I don't think, from what I heard or from what my sister said about the game, or you guys were talking about it, people did not like the gameplay or something.
Oh yeah, the motion controls. Yeah, the motion controls. I mean, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah, but I never kind of experienced that a little bit, but well.
But do you think this game though is like the first time they dived so deep into the story portion of a Zelda game?
It sounds like it. It sounds like it does. Yeah.
Okay. That's good though. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. Next.
One thing I liked about the game. This is easy. As much as laggy as it was, and as much frame rate drops it caused. I enjoyed the fact that it supported split screen co-op. Nowadays, a lot of games don't offer that option. It's typically weird, yeah. Typically co-op games nowadays, it's usually going to be like a platformer, usually a beat 'em up. But like this style of game, it's kind of rare, and it was kind of nice to actually have someone else physically present in the room, and we were actually able to play the entire game, the entire campaign from beginning to end in co-op. So that I really enjoyed the fact that Nintendo still supports that kind of gameplay, that kind of mentality when it comes to cooperative experiences. Because sometimes it's just chilling out every weekend, and then just like getting some drinks, getting some snacks, and then just freaking wailing on thousands upon thousands of enemies. It's just it's great. It's just fun. And yeah, we could have done it online through a headset, but there's something there's something special about like doing it in person.
That's one thing that's somewhat destroying the whole gaming itself when I think about it. when you play online, when you're already starting to go into the whole online multiplayer stuff, like the whole Call of Duty thing, you play with your friends and stuff like that. I know we tried doing that before with Nazi Zombie, with the zombies one.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, we are still connected online, but it's just like
it's not the same, right? It's not the same.
It doesn't feel the same. And then when your cousins, my sister and I, and your cousins, your sister, me and my sister were at your house years back. We played Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
like an assistant league, and I remember what your sister said. She was saying this beach is online or something like that. I was like,
this beach. Or Xbox game tag.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was the best moment. And it was like, I think it was like, did we play like 2-on-2, or was it 4-on-4?
I'm pretty sure it was versus.
Oh,
yeah, because there's so many people involved. But
yeah,
that was awesome.
That was a fun moment, man. I wish we could do that again.
I mean, I love online gaming, is awesome, and it really does allow people to connect with each other. But kind of like what we were saying, it's just there's something special and unique about having these kind of experiences in person. Like you can just see their reactions, and I can't describe it because I don't think you were there, Soul. But oh my god, what's that game we played? Just Shapes and Beats. A couple video game book clubs back, when everybody was here, like present and playing locally on the console. And this is a different session from ours. But when everybody was here playing that game all together, it just amplified the experience by a lot. It's so much different. And kudos to Nintendo, the team, who is the freaking people who developed it, Omega Force. Thank you for continuing to make these games split screen co-op. It's a dying thing, but I'm glad that there are still some game developers who are doing that. So next.
Yep. Okay. So what's my second like? Crap. Guess the character. Guess different. It's like maybe the different character gameplays.
Okay.
Itself, because when you use that, I forgot what you call that, the Sheikah Slate or the Slate ability sometimes.
Yeah.
It does some unique things like when you use stasis, they use different movesets to make the enemies go flying after the stasis effect goes away.
Oh yeah.
Or like if you use the ice blocks, which we don't use that often. I wish there was a bit more to it. It just does different things with it, different kind of size and shapes of the ice blocks, especially with the bomb ones too.
Oh my god, yeah. That was surprising, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the fact that all the items interacted differently depending on the character you were using.
Yeah, especially
they did not have to do that, but I'm so glad they did.
Yeah, those mini bosses or the sub bosses that have that.
Yeah.
Those icons. That's why I was telling you use the bomb or use the stasis icon or the stasis one, because those make the enemies stagger and increase the likeliness to shatter their shields like that. I was trying to find the right moment, and I am so glad when you're using the stasis thing or the slate. Dude, it slows down time for you.
We abuse the crap out of that.
Mostly the stasis one.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then it's just every time when you collect a different combo, there's always something interesting about how it feels when you're hitting the enemies with a certain combo.
Yeah.
Like how you use Daruk in a way.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I think it's with their ZR, they have different kinds of abilities. I'm not sure what I haven't fully used the button much. But
what's weird is the character, because if you look at every single character, the basic layout of the attacks is the same. It's the XXXY or XXXXXY. It's just a bunch of X's and then you press a Y. But the way they design it is so clever because they added an additional layer on top of it, kind of like what you were saying, with Daruk, right? When he's attacking and you press Y, he creates these stone pillars that you can actually manually detonate with the ZR. What about for the bird boys? What was their ZR? stuff.
You know what sucks? I have not even touched their CRs much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I said, I was mostly using the X and Y button as a combo.
I know those characters. They did have I didn't really play them, but I know they had the ability to fight like on the ground level, and then like air.
I know
combat.
they have different air. They have different style of gameplay. Like if they it's mostly like Rivali in this case, because if he goes in the air, his combos kind of change.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what's the most recent one? I think it was XXY, and it causes like a gale, like a large gale to show up, and there's like a button that you have to press, which is like continue the attack, and it shows like multiple gales, like causing like a huge storm right in front of you, and it's ridiculous. It was ridiculous, like watching all those enemies get knocked out like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's so cool, like. It's just the way they designed it. It's like the characters, like you can go from one character to the next and you can get the same basic feel because the combos are essentially set up the same way. But Omega Force has designed it in a way where they tweak it just a little bit to really make it unique to that character. With every
character you have.
Like Daruk with his stone pillars,
or King Rome with his sword.
Arrows. Yeah, King Rome and his ability to
that's with the swapping one.
Yeah, the swapping abilities between the claymore and the axe. I was like, it's so cool just to see these characters with these movesets and see how their abilities kind of like just mesh and just work well together. It's awesome.
Then you have like Zelda with her Sheikah Slate. If she doesn't use those slate abilities, she actually like tries to fight with her slate at least.
Yeah.
It's kind of different, but it's just like without her full power, that's her only weapon of choice at the beginning.
But it works.
But it does. But it sucks we don't use her much often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it was also part of it was due to just our preference of what we like to use.
Yeah.
As well. But either way,
but we'll talk about more of that later.
Yeah.
But actually, before we continue, what was King Rome's what was his disguise in king form?
Oh, like how did it work?
Yeah, like how, like I think wasn't King Rome's disguised form much more faster?
His disguised form, I believe it had the axe, and those were quicker attacks. And then when he took off the axe, he would swap to a claymore, and those were like heavier, harder hitting attacks. The cool thing about it, when you implement the swapping, is the moment you swap, you know how like at the end of a combo, when you press Y, it like unleashes a stronger attack?
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, what you would do is you would attack with, let's say, the axe, and then when you're ready to unleash the combo, the final hit, you swap over and it would automatically swap to the next weapon's special attack. So it's like you do axe attack, swap over to greatsword, and then it would perform the special greatsword attack, and then vice versa. So it's a really dynamic gameplay.
You can also
doing that.
From what I can tell, it looks like you can make a never-ending finishing combo with that thing too.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love that character. Still wish she was in the beginning.
Like as a little teaser.
Oh my god, yeah, dude.
There should have been like a cutscene of like an attempted assassination from the Yiga clan.
Dude, he was so cool because like stuff like that usually don't apply that kind of those attacks to these heavier characters. So it was cool. I wasn't used to it. It caught me off guard. So kudos to the team. They did a great job with the combat.
Okay. All right. Next.
Okay. So that was your second thing?
Yep.
Okay. So my second thing is, well, that was actually one of the things I was going to talk about were the weapon types, but you're good. Actually, no, I can build up on that. I didn't use it a whole lot, but I really appreciate the fact that Link himself has the ability to wield different weapon types, pretty much almost any weapon type in the game. Now, they could have easily just carbon copied the same basic combos for each weapon, but no, all the weapons, similar to all the champions and all the other characters, each weapon that Link carried had a unique and different play style that you kind of had to figure out with each one. Like,
so it's like if Link uses a claymore sword type.
yeah, his attacks would actually be hurting himself when he's doing it.
Well, I thought it was more like his special would hurt him because of that.
Actually, there's an attack in there that just keeps hurting him, but you can also heal yourself too as you're attacking. Like, it really rewards you for a very aggressive playstyle with the claymore. So I mean that was pretty fun. I didn't really mess around with the spear and the other weapon types, but because it would require us to go back and do a lot of the side missions to unlock the rest of the combos. Right. But just the fact that they even allowed Link to use all these different weapon types was cool, which makes sense because you can do the same thing in Breath of the Wild. So I'm just glad that carried over to this game and they really paid homage to it. So good on them.
Yeah,
that's the second thing I liked. Next.
Okay, so the third one. Frick, what was my third one?
And then if you can't think of one, you can always just do next.
I thought I had a third one, but I guess I didn't prep that one up very well.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Actually, no, wait. Maybe I think I like the music a little bit if I heard correctly.
Okay.
If I hear them properly, like where we meet the wizard, the evil wizard, when we're trying to get the Master Sword.
Oh my god, yeah.
Jeez, that was. It actually, I feel like if I remember correctly, it actually kept the whole Zelda theme going on, but more intense.
Yeah, just like make it like epic orchestra version of it.
And not only that, you can, and I think like when the robots were being possessed by Calamity Ganon, when you're trying to go to the castle to save King Rome, jeez, I think the music kind of changed in an intense way, in a dramatic way. It was just watching the whole the castle itself being torn like that.
Yeah, and it did take a lot of the music themes from like what you're saying from Breath of the Wild, and it really just kind of remixed it to make it more faster paced. Like have a more battle feel to the themes, to the songs. So
it did.
It was pretty cool.
Even with the cutscenes too.
Yeah,
I think like later on that, like at the later half, at the end of the game, I think I liked it with the intense conclusion of all races of the Goron, the Zoras, and the Hylians, Gerudo and Rito people, banding all together, going after Ganon like that.
Oh yeah, that was
gosh, that was amazing. The music itself, just like
it's like the nice finishing touch to the whole thing.
Yep, and as you said, it has an interesting touch to like keeping the Breath of the Wild tunes into it.
Oh yeah,
but more intense.
Freaking love it.
Yep. All right, next.
The last thing I liked about the game, and it kind of ties to what Soul talked about earlier. I really enjoy the cutscenes, the interactions between the characters. Like Breath of the Wild had some cutscenes, mostly from I think they were called like memories or something. But just seeing it here in this game and watching these cutscenes unfold and showing how all these characters, the champions, Link, Impa, Zelda, that little robot, I forgot his name. Yeah, Terraco, that robot guy. It's like it was very endearing to like watch them just interact with each other, or like just like watching Rivali's rivalry between Link. Like we were just like laughing and then just like going back and forth.
You know what? I kind of like that. I like that. Sorry for that, but I really like the cutscene at the last half fighting Rivali.
Yeah,
dude, that was intense.
Yeah, like when they were 1v1ing each other. Yeah,
and it was just that last scene where Rito was about to make the last blow.
Yeah,
when that slowed down, I was like, oh my gosh, that was intense.
Yeah, it's so cool seeing especially coming from the angle of because I have beaten Breath of the Wild, and that was one of the things that I was kind of hoping to see more of were these character interactions, because all you really see in that game is like the memories, and they're very short cutscenes. But the fact that we were able to see this full-on character interaction between everyone, it was awesome seeing it, and I'm glad I played this game with Soul.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, like dude, I Soul saw it like after playing this game. I even started to get the PVC figures for the champions.
Oh yeah, you're slowly getting the champions.
Yeah. The next one I'm getting is Mifa, but it's just like if it wasn't for this game and playing with Soul, like I already liked the champions, but I wasn't like in love with them. But now it's like it's completely changed my perspective, and I really, really like these characters. And I don't know how they're gonna do it. I hope they're included in some way in Breath of the Wild 2. Probably not, but it would just be cool to see them even further developed. So kudos.
Not gonna lie, I'm looking at the Revali figure right now.
Yeah, it's worth it, dude. It lights up, by the way. The base. I don't think I ever showed it to you.
I'm looking at it right now. It's oh my gosh, $124.
It's worth it though. It's sick.
I know it is.
It's sick. I know. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll need to save up for that then.
Definitely, man. Definitely. But yeah. Third thing I liked, cutscenes, interaction between the characters. It was awesome. So
crap, I should have gone with the whole. Yeah, I should have. And not only that, though, I want to add a bit to that cutscene one.
Mm-hmm.
I like the freaking art style of it for it too.
Oh yeah,
it kept in tune with the Breath of the Wild's graphic art right there.
Yeah, they did a good job. Omega Force, like it almost didn't even seem like it was being developed by another company. Like didn't it feel just like so seamless, like how it transitioned?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so dude, good job.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, and now we will go to question 4. Here we go. What are 3 things you did not like, and how would you improve it?
Should we just go with the obvious, of course?
I mean, you can start up. I'm probably going to follow up after you, so this is my first thing. But you can go ahead. You start it first, dude. I already know what you're going to say.
I know what's going to happen. So, I think you and I are sharing the same brain cell here.
Let's address the large elephant in the room here. Go ahead.
It's the frame drops, and we talked about it slightly in the beginning.
God dang it!
Oh my god! It gets worse. I think in the beginning it didn't seem that worse before, but not like further and further we get in the game.
Oh, it was bad in the beginning, and it gradually got worse. The stronger our characters became.
It didn't feel that bad before, but now it's just like when I think I started realizing it when we got Urbosa. When we use
lightning effects.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. And then when I started playing as Revali, good lord, I like the guy, but the frame rates.
Who caused the worst frame rate drop, him or Teba?
Oh lord. With or without the much enemies in the area?
I guess when there's a lot of enemies, sure.
But I think there's like times where it doesn't really cause that much frame drops.
Yeah, I guess it really depends, but it was awful. You know what? I'm using my one thing I don't like also. I'm going to combine with Soul on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's just like, again, I think it's from like, no, they honestly equally both in a certain way. They do cause some frame rate drops.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bad when we're fighting it.
It's awful. Like,
and what's funny is that when you replayed the how bad it was.
The in-game recording.
Yeah, and it showed that it looks like it's fine, but when we play it, it's like, excuse me?
And I think it's how that's happening with how the hardware. I don't know like exactly how it works, but the playback hardware for the recording, the 30-second playback, it's different from us actually playing the game. I don't know how to describe it, but that's the reason why when we perceive it, it's lagging. But when the console itself is showing the playback, it looked smooth. and everything. I wish the game actually played like that, but it doesn't.
Oh man, I wish it does too, man.
That's
so
the
say
thing.
we all.
And
oh boy,
the frame rate, it is a known issue. A lot of any review that you watch on YouTube or anywhere, they're going to state that the frame rate is awful. But I am telling you guys now, if you play this game on local co-op, the frame rate goes from awful to catastrophic to horrendous. It is
and you'll
so bad. It's like
you'll be cool. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's like watching paint. Paint drying on a wall has more animation, more smoothness than what we were doing.
Just watching the tiny molecules just like hardening up into a solid form of a
God.
paint.
Yeah, exactly. A manga strip has more movement and clarity than what we were seeing.
Oh my lord.
It was, oh my God. I don't even, I kind of want to show footage, but I can't really because this is a freaking podcast. But it just trust us. Like anything with explosions, anything with what, like a crap ton of arrows, I guess when you're using
or
the
like
volley
lots of
and
enemies,
yeah,
getting swallowed up by the enemy by a character's attack.
Yeah, basically attacks that were super flashy. Just get ready to experience some next level frame rate drop. It was,
and you'll be questioning why and or how your Switch is still alive.
Yeah,
and not on fire.
That's what I'm saying. God, it sucks because it's like we know the combos look amazing. We know the animation is great, but these frame rate drops just kept pulling us out of the like immersion. It just
we keep laughing about it. We keep laughing about that too.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, it is pretty funny, but at the same time, it really
just like
it killed it.
It did. I think if we were trying to improve it, I think we just need to get the Switch a better something to hold better rather than like letting it suffer and hoping it doesn't catch on fire.
Yeah, either a way to improve it, this game either needs to be optimized a bit better. I don't know if that's possible considering the Switch hardware is so old. Or how about this?
It's really that old?
This Switch has been out for like 5 years, I think.
Huh.
Let's see. Switch release date. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This is a 5-year-old console and it hasn't received any like notable upgrades. Yeah, OLED model's cool, but holy crap, this game made me realize the Switch needs something. It needs like a new version of it or something. I don't know.
It really does. Otherwise, it's gonna suffer for much longer than it is.
It's like I can't help, dude, but like imagine like how this game would have played if it, I hate to say it, but if it were on like PS5 or PC or something, so we can actually have a smooth experience. Because this is going to contribute a lot to my final score, and I'll talk more about it later. But holy crap, it was a big deal breaker.
It was disgusting just watching the whole frame rate just drop. And again, I can't keep talking about this, but I'm surprised your Switch managed to held out from that,
dude. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. It died a little bit inside after we finished.
You better check on it next time, man. Maybe I'm pretty sure it's on his deathbed right now.
Maybe by playing this game, it actually shortened the lifespan of my Switch.
Probably did. It's like the fat PS3. It's like I put in accidentally in the wrong corner. Did not last long.
Yep, 100%. But yeah, that's what were you gonna say?
But yeah, it's a good game. Just give it.
Fix that frame rate.
Upgrade, man.
That's funny because that's after the patches, by the way.
This is after?
Yeah, it was much worse on launch.
Oh no.
So we're lucky actually. We played it like almost a year after.
Oh boy, if we played it before the update, I'm pretty sure your Switch would be on fire at that point. Oh
yeah. My Switch would have committed seppuku.
Oh boy, that would not be fun.
Okay. Well,
it's like something from the BMW, like one of those BMWs are so high priced and so high maintenance.
For sure, dude. But yeah, they kind of combined on that one. So that for both of us, that'll count as one thing we did not like. And back to you, Soul, for your second thing.
Let's see. There needs to be a bit more character weapon variations, and like, because you know, like with Rivali, he has a bow. That's understandable.
Yeah, that's his thing.
But there should have been more. I feel like there should be more than just one or two bows, like different types.
Oh,
of bows.
You mean like at least like bow types, not like necessarily a new weapon.
Well, maybe new weapon in a way, like to change up his play style.
What would you have given him?
That's the question.
Because the Rito people, that's what that's like their specialty. That's what they've trained themselves to be so good at.
I could probably think of like crossbows or something, maybe.
Actually, yeah, I like that.
I could probably see that.
Yeah, it still falls in the realm of bows, so yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And or some sort of like ballista style shoulder mounted ballistas.
Let's just give him a gun. You know, AK in there.
No, something like Gundam, like.
Or a Gatling gun shooting like arrows.
Or the like that one. Just like give it like I don't care if it has a feeling of a Gundam. Just give the characters something like interesting to play with, rather than like keep like nothing like too singular. Actually, now that I think about it, like the Monster Hunter bow gun, you have like two different bow guns, like the light bow gun and the heavy bow gun.
Okay. So like a variation.
Yeah. And I don't mind giving Rivali a sniper bow.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind if there was a little bit of variation in their weapon styles. Like if it would help them, they could remove some of the the extra characters that didn't really matter, like they added, but what's that dude? The Hetsu, the Korok guy? I think it's Hetsu.
Hetsu?
Yeah, like him. Like they could remove him and that freaking ninja dude if they wanted to. If it would allow them to put the resources in, making a little bit more variation in the champions' attacks.
Heck, I don't mind giving Daruk like a big cannon for that point.
Oh my god!
I can just imagine him like carrying a giant bazooka or a giant cannon on his shoulder, just lobbing explosive rocks at his enemies.
Oh, that'd be hella sick.
Actually, let's go back to that one really quick. The frame rate drops really quick.
What? We're on the second thing.
I know, but hang on. There's also I want to add one more thing to it.
Okay, go for it.
Divine beasts.
Oh, I was gonna talk about that.
Oh, you were. Okay, I'll hold that then. But yeah, there needs to be a bit more character weapon variations to that. I think we've already seen it, like Zelda's bow and the Sheikah Slate one.
Oh, like when she changes.
Yeah, like when she got her Triforce power, and then what else? I'm not sure if there was much on Impa's weapon.
No, I pretty much stayed the same. Yeah.
I feel like only Zelda and Link are the only ones that have different weapon variations, unlike the other characters. Their weapons are like somewhat the same,
and
like
you know where their variation comes from, right?
Yeah,
like the reason why the champions don't have more to them is because, spoiler alert, their quote unquote variation comes in the form of the future champion. That's where their variation comes from. That's why I was saying, like, if they were to take the route of doing what you're suggesting about the weapon variations, they should develop the core characters, the champions, more than at that point, and then reduce the number of overall characters so they can hone in more on the existing ones. Because that's kind of what happened. That's why, at least that's what I'm thinking. That's the reason why they didn't get any more weapon variation, because they already have a lot of combos to begin with.
I guess.
So, but yeah, I see what you're saying. That would be pretty sick if they had at least one other weapon type.
Yeah, I think that's about it for this one. Next.
Okay, so kind of like what Soul was mentioning earlier, the Divine Beasts. They were some of the coolest parts of the game, and also some of the parts that I'll be honest, I kind of loathed. I kind of didn't like. One of it being which I don't understand why they couldn't do this, is if you're going to offer the entire game to be played as co-op, why weren't the Divine Beasts able to be quote unquote co-op, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think all the Divine Beasts have enough, like, you know, enough different like attacks and attack skills that they could have easily divided it. Maybe one player could be controlling and doing the primary attack while the other player does the, you know, like the special attacks, the really flashy stuff.
Yeah, especially when you get the future characters into play as well.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, with the whole future characters coming in, maybe they could, or maybe they did, I don't remember, or maybe they could increase the number of attacks too, you know, enhance the Divine Beasts. It just, right? Didn't it feel like awkward where it's like, oh, Divine Beast part, okay, here you go, it's your turn. It's like,
yeah. I wanted to give you the one with the Darus Divine Beast so you can play with him, but
it's just like, I was like, I don't want to do it. And then like the actual Divine Beast portions, they were kind of basic. A lot of it usually came down to just killing a certain number of enemies. You know, I just wish there was more variation in that. Wish it was actually co-op, true co-op on it. Yeah, they could have done.
And I wish there was a bit more Divine Beast moments too.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, if we do play co-op on it, it's probably gonna destroy your Switch.
Oh yeah, definitely. But wouldn't it be sick though if you had Divine Beast versus like another giant like Ganon monster or something? I don't know, some kaiju level stuff.
Oh boy! And I was hoping that if we play as a Divine Beast, they would go after Calamity Ganon's beast form like that when he was like, spiraling around at the castle like that.
Like actually fight other giant monsters.
Yeah, that would have been much more fun.
Yeah. So appreciate that they had the Divine Beast section. Like at first when we saw it, it was pretty cool. But every time, like afterwards, as the game dragged on and Divine Beast sections kept coming up, I kind of, for me personally, I'd start to lose interest. So I kind of start to give it the soul.
Yeah. I still have fun with them.
Yeah. It's not bad. Could definitely be much better though. So yeah, improve it, make it co-op if you're playing co-op. Structure the missions, make it a little bit more interesting rather than just killing a certain number of enemies. And yeah, maybe throw in some kaiju. Let's fight something in these Divine Beasts. Yeah, let's get a little challenge here.
Like those Blight Ganons. We should have seen more of those, like as in the Divine Beast and the Divine Beast fights.
Yeah.
Like there was like only one time we only see him was like with Rivali because
you're right.
The Wind Blight Ganon was just too scared to die immediately.
Yeah, that's true.
He just came up to them like 4 times and I just eviscerated him.
And you're like, later, man.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that is it for me for my second thing I did not like. Next.
What was the third one? I had the third one in my head. But since we've been talking so much about it, it's just
back to the frame rate. See, the frame rate is like
oh god. I think just minorly, I feel like there wasn't that many friendly NPC characters I see in the battlefield. And
that's hardware. That's why.
Yeah, probably. It's like there's not many NPC friendlies out there. I played Dynasty Warriors Gundam before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I see a lot of friendly NPC mobile suits there. And they actually do something, and they actually take a zone or something like that here and there while you're like fighting on your own or on your own way, clearing out objectives.
Oh, you mean they're not just mindlessly standing there the entire time?
Yeah. That's the one. Okay, that's the one I was talking about. The command ones.
Yes.
It's like when you're having when you're playing as with the other characters you select, you go to the pause menu.
Oh my god, that's annoying. Yeah,
it is annoying. It's like, what's the point of having this if you're just gonna pause the game if we're doing any co-op?
Yeah, it's like that was one of the reasons why we kind of didn't do it, is because we kept having to pause and really takes us out of the game. It's a pain in the butt having to do that.
It's like what's the point of playing? What's the point of using that mechanic if in a split screen? If you're just gonna pause a whole screen, if you're gonna be doing that, I would at least make it like only one screen is paused or slowed while the other one still moves around.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, that they can't do that, they should at least follow it up with. They should at least reference it to like other Dynasty Warrior games.
Mm-hmm. Or like have something where, what if you don't have to pause at all? What if there's a button command maybe on the D-pad or something that you can use to tell them what to do?
There's also a command system in Ace Combat and like in the future Ace Combat or Ace Combat 5 and 0.
Yeah.
And 6 that actually gives the players teammates certain commands to do. Like if you want to give the character that you're not playing at the moment, go to this. You just give them a command like defend this location.
Exactly.
Like attack
this basic location. Things like that would have added a lot.
Yeah. Or better yet, there's like also in Ace Combat 5, there is also like you have the permission to say yes or no, and you see the command like change automatically.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It's like I forgot how it goes. It's like okay, an example in Ace Combat 5, Captain or something like this. Captain, there's a target enemies to split out. Should we split up and engage them separately?
Yeah.
And there's this pop-up that says yes or no. You have the choice. If you say no, they'll stick to the same plan or the command that you gave them. If you say yes, they split off and they actually do their own thing.
Yes, I agree with you. Because wasn't that in other Dynasty Warrior games too?
No, that was in Ace Combat, but that was like only in Ace Combat 5, sadly, not in. God,
that's such a cool feature though, because it kind of like makes it feel like you're interacting with your allies.
That would make the game so much better if it was like that.
Yeah. Hey, maybe since there is that Fire Emblem one.
Oh yeah, there is.
I never really looked into it, but maybe because that game was built off of a tactics game, maybe there's something like that? Question mark. Next game? I don't know.
maybe in the remastered version of Age of Calamity, I really do hope they would add the command thing rather than just like pausing the whole screen.
All right, so I'll see you on Fire Emblem Warriors then.
Oh God.
Actually, let's take a break from Warriors games for a little bit.
Yeah,
just change it up.
And I think we've seen the trailers of that on GameStop before.
Yeah.
We've seen the frame drops right there.
Oh God, you're right. I remember that trip. Yeah, holy crap.
I don't want to witness another frame rate PTSD.
Yeah, you're right. If we play another Warriors game, let's put on the PS5 or something.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Any of the consoles good for that?
I can actually handle the load.
I know, right? Okay, so yeah, next.
Okay, what are we on? The second or third thing?
Last one.
On the last one. Okay.
We were so happy we were having PTSD.
Yeah, I know, dude. My last one. One thing I did not like. I do not like how they handled the side quests. To be honest, sure, they're cool. They help, character growth, combos, health, that ultimate meter, etc. But in the end, these side quests are they usually come down to collection quests. Grab what you need, go to where you need to go, get what you need, turn it in, and you get a combo, right? That's basically how it played out most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would have taken to do it, but I really wish the side quests were actually tied to true side quests. And what I mean by this is I wish these side quests had meaning behind them, like new cutscenes, new scenarios, helps further build the character development, like story-wise. Because I mean, this is cool. Yeah, this is cool seeing the future Hyrule champions meeting the past Hyrule champions. Like I love that interaction. It would have been cool if these side quests kind of focused in more on that. Like as you're building Teba, right? Yeah. Teba's side quest stuff. As you're going through that, maybe there's more interaction and story scenes between him and Rivali, or another interesting one, Mifa and what's his name, Sidon.
Sidon, yeah.
Right, because like you can tell like Sidon, he was devastated because his sister was killed, and he was so young when it happened. So that it's just like there's so much missed opportunity for them to really like bond the characters like more.
Yeah, and so how it felt like for these past champions, how that felt for the future champions.
Like where the frick was the Mifa and Link stuff? Like,
oh boy,
it's like, here we go. You know the fans wanted that, and you could have went further with it. But
you're right. We should have added like a Persona 5 Persona series.
You're right. Where is the dating mechanics? No, but in all seriousness, though, like the side quests, oh my god, that's such a missed opportunity. And I know that it would have taken longer to develop the game, but I'm telling you, if they remove like these extra characters that don't really matter, that no one really cares about, and really focus in on the champions and Link and Zelda, it would have been so much better. Impa's cool too, though, but she can stay. So yeah, that was my thing.
Even with Terraco too.
Yeah, Terraco is awesome. Also,
yeah,
I wanted more of that, and not. Oh yeah, you have a Deku nut. You need 2 more. Go grind this level real quick. It's like not a big fan of that. They could have handled that a bit better. So yeah, that's my thing. My last thing I didn't like. How I would improve it, and next. So now we are on the final question. So question 5. What is your final verdict and final rating from 0 to 10 using a 0.5 scale?
Excluding the frame rates. It could have been a lot better it would have been a lot better if there was none. But I do like the gameplay. I do like the gameplay, the story, the characters. But I feel like there's some things that are a little bit lacking as the game goes on. And the music is cool too.
Mm-hmm.
The art is really cool too. But again, there are some things that we already said and improved, like more character weapon variations, more of that. Just sticking to like a secondary that they're also good too, and the command thing, they should at least added that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna, and now excluding the frame rate, I'm just gonna say I'm giving this Age of Calamity an 8 calamities out of 10.
Okay.
Correction. 8 frame rate drops out of 10.
I'm curious, what would you have given it if it didn't have the frame rate drops?
It would probably be up around an 8.5 or a 9.
Dang, okay, respect.
Yeah, alright, next.
Okay, alright, here we go. Gloves coming off. We're going hard. So, whew. Alright, so Hyrule Warriors, Age of Catastrophic Frame Rate Drops, Fire Switch on Fire is not a bad game by any means, like Soul was saying. And like many other warrior style games out there, the combat is pure mindless fun. You got button mashing, got that chaotic goodness, got the really flashy combos. It's just fun to go out there and completely obliterate everything and everyone that stands before you. And like I said before, watching all the champions interact with Link, Zelda, Impa, and the little robot boy, Tarako, it was awesome and it was endearing quite a few times.
It was.
But my God, dude, that frame rate is so freaking bad. There were, like what Soul was saying, there were times where I like literally thought my Switch was going to catch on fire. I'm pretty sure it was smoking a little bit. I think, remember how the room kind of got like a little bit warm? I'm pretty sure it was because of the Switch. It was the Switch's fault. It literally, the frame rate drops were so bad, it caused a climate change in the room we were playing in.
It probably made your house sink about a few inches.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe it's because we were playing on co-op that really caused a lot of that frame rate issues. But holy crap, if you're going to be like offering true co-op like this, and if you know it's going to be performing this poorly, it's like, honestly, maybe it would have been better if they, I hate to say it, but maybe it would have been better if they didn't add it, as an option to begin with.
Yeah.
Like if they know in the back of their mind, hey, we're going to offer split screen, but it's going to be total garbage with the frame rate and just all of that. It's just, I hate to say it, but maybe they shouldn't have added that and just focused on optimizing their game better for single player at least.
You know what I'm scared? You know what I'm scared?
Mm-hmm.
If you play it in handheld single player.
Oh, God. All right.
Oh, boy.
So handheld split screen co-op. Let's go.
No, just single player. And it's just like, you do one signature move, like Urbosa's lightning signature. It just causes your Switch to snap in half.
So can you imagine? Handheld. Handheld mode. We pop up the little back. We gather around the little tiny screen and we try playing co-op on that. Can you imagine what would happen to the Switch? I think it would just explode like a grenade.
That's gonna be pure nightmare.
So okay. Anyways, getting back to it, it's like we were saying. And I know there was a lot of cool crap happening on the screen, but when it's stuttering all the time, it's just like, God, it kills the mood. It really does. For Soul, he was pretty generous. He gave an 8. But God, with all things considered, I give Hyrule Warriors Age of Lag Spikes a. God, this is so hard for me to like pick a score. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. It's not a bad score. It's not bad. It's actually considered good. But I enjoyed my time with the game, dude. It's like, it was fun. But the frame rate killed it so much for me.
Oh, that's why I say I'm excluding the frame rate drop.
I can't. I know it's impossible. It's literally in your face.
It does. I know.
But it's like the game underneath is it's great. It's just the freaking frame rate is god awful.
So bad.
Where's the Switch Pro?
Oh boy.
Give us a Switch Pro.
Did they even announce that yet? Or
no, that's a sad thing. They had many opportunities, but there's nothing on the horizon.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't mind if Nintendo would actually at least do some sort of borrowing thing going on with the Zelda characters for.
It doesn't matter.
They're gonna do something like that for Dynasty Warriors. They at least need to do some sort of partnership with at least one.
They need to upgrade. They need to upgrade their hardware. That's as plain and simple. This hardware, it was cool. Freaking 5 years ago, it was awesome playing handheld AAA titles like Zelda. But my God, it's like that fascination, that excitement for being able to do that it's long gone. 5 years is a long time ago. It's time for them to move forward with their Switch.
They need to.
I mean, that could be its own. Before I start going on a rant, that could be their own thing. But holy crap, yeah.
We should probably do another video about ranting on this.
Yeah, maybe we'll rag on the Switch in a different video.
Yeah, we will.
But my final score is a 7. With that said, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity gets our final average rating of 75% or 15 out of 20. So it is still a pretty good game. Just watch that co-op, which sucks.
Oh boy,
too much lag. But anyway, Soul, you know what time it is?
Yep.
Bonus mystery question time. Here we go. Bonus mystery questions were prepared ahead of time by both of us, but no one knows who or what will be asking the question. Now it's time to spin the wheel of mystery. Here we go, Soul. You ready?
Oh no!
I have our names on here. I'm spinning the wheel. It's going in 3, 2, 1, and the winner is frick.
It's you, isn't it?
I swear this is not rigged, and I swear I am spinning a wheel. But yeah, it's me. Out of curiosity, though, what was your question?
I didn't have any.
Okay, well, you got lucky.
I got lucky.
Okay, so my question is actually a very simple question, but it's also the hardest question. Or maybe it's easy for you. I don't know. Anyways.
All right, what is it?
My bonus mystery question is, what is your favorite Zelda game of all time and why?
Oh, frick.
That is my question. And then I will give you some time to think about that. So
hold on. Before we take the time.
Okay.
Is this before or after the Switch?
It can be any Zelda game. Anything.
Crap.
Any Zelda game, as long as it has the Zelda IP, you all good. Okay?
Oh boy, that's...
Just trust in your gut. Trust in your heartstone, and here we go. I'm going to put a timer.
Oh, God. All right, here we go.
Starting timer for 1 minute now.
Yet.
Yep, that's it, man.
Right on time.
Okay.
Honestly, I had to give it to Twilight Princess, actually.
Okay.
The reason saying is because it was more dark than they imagined. And not only that,
that's true.
It's a unique because you get to be as a wolf too. And I can tell as one of the furry artists out there, I've seen many wolf links out there.
I bet you have.
and there is money to be made in that. There is. Because it's just, you get the same trend of like Link saving Hyrule and all, but what about a humanoid wolf Link? Now think of that for a second. That's something different than a standard, like a person with pointy ears in a way, or like having a different kind of race, like saving Hyrule.
That's true. I mean, I'm not really into that, but
I know that
to each their own.
But I'm just saying there are people that will be willing
to
for sure, spend money for that.
Hell yeah, man.
There are people that will be thinking about that, but aside from that, the story itself is so interesting, and it's like taking a dark turn of it's not the Triforce is not only like chosen by the three characters that we know so far.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's also in a way greedy when you save or free one of the three spirit lakes,
mm-hmm.
and it talks about how dangerous that power is, and it's like, ooh. Yeah, I can probably see that. I can't remember the story of it.
Me neither. I just remember the freaking the bridge of Elden, that bridge.
Yeah,
like that, and then the ending sequence fighting off against Ganon on horseback. That was sick.
I don't know that. It was like its own horror theme when you go into Twilight World.
It really was.
It's and the music itself. Good lord!
Oh my god, music was popping. It was so good.
It was
Twilight Princess.
It was electro music 24/7.
And again, I guess all the Zelda games have really good music when you think about it.
It does.
I think the composer is Koji Kondo. I think it's been the same guy doing the Zelda music since the beginning. Let me fact check that though before I start spreading fake info. But go on, continue.
What was that? What was that? Twilight Realm. It's like when you're facing off those Twilight beasts, and when you're like trying to when you get caught in like one of those barriers. It's just like, wow, what the frick am I facing with this music? It's like, oh boy, I don't think I want to be here.
Yeah.
or especially with the light orb when you're trying to get in the Palace of Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you see that hand and you just hear that shrieking alarm noise. It's like, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear it. Get me out of there.
Yeah, it was Koji Kondo, dude. He did freaking pretty much all the major Zelda games: Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, the original Legend of Zelda. So, yeah, he killed it.
That was intense. Yeah, I kind of like it. All right, next.
Okay, my favorite Legend of Zelda game of all time. What do you think it is, by the way? What's your guess?
Wind Waker.
Ooh, no, you're close though. You're close. So my favorite Zelda game of all time is actually Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
So yeah, N64.
That is also a good one too.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
So this is interesting because when that game came out, I checked it. I was around 7 or 8 at the time. And I kid you not, dude, I was literally scared of everything.
No, I wasn't the only one that got scared of that game.
They're scared of everything, and I was scared. But I don't know why, but I was afraid of playing games by myself just in general. Like
it's the same thing with me.
Yeah, I would usually, I don't know why, I would ask my sister to play these games for me. And one of them was Ocarina of Time. And that was one of the games that I would just consistently pester her every night to ask if she can play it for me. Because I loved watching it, but I did not want to play it at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's how I felt like when I tried to play Ocarina of Time by myself.
So
you're not the only one that got scared of that,
dude.
And don't forget, Tubby. I also asked you for help when I played Beyond Good and Evil. I did not like playing it alone either.
Dude, that yeah, I understand. I mean, especially when you're at that age, it's like everything's so impressionable on you, and it's just. But anyways, continuing this story. Eventually, my sister kind of just stopped playing games in general. So I needed that fix. I needed that kick. I wanted to know what happened next. But again, like we were saying, I was scared. Some key highlights, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to this, including you, were the Re-Deads.
Oh, God.
And the skeletons that would just randomly appear at nighttime.
Oh, I hated that too. So I'm not the only one that got scared of that.
Yeah. Eventually, I did muster up the tiny amounts of courage that I had, and it was time for me to man up. And I actually played the game, but I would only play it when the sun was out in the game. Like once it started getting nighttime, I'm like, no. I would I try to get to the nearest town and just stay there, or I'd shut the freaking console off and I would just stop, hoping that when I turned it on, it would be daylight again. It was bad, dude. It was bad.
Did you I think there was a little hint that if you keep on rolling, it'll be faster.
Yeah, I did that too. It was.
I had the tips. I had the strategy book for it too. I don't know what happened to it. Probably got lost during the moving.
Yeah,
But I was like, man,
I was so scared of freaking playing of nighttime hitting in that game that I literally I couldn't bring myself to play the game.
And I still had that fear when we first met. I tried, and I think I showed you Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah.
And I let you play that because I wanted to see you play it because I got scared because of the whole
Video Game Book Club, thing. Beyond Good and Evil, The Return.
Oh, I still need to finish that on the Xbox actually.
But at the same time, it's like Ocarina of Time was such a special experience for me. I mean, that was a big one. And what was interesting was when I sit down and think about it, when you start Ocarina of Time, you start out as, young Link, a little kid, you don't really know much. And then eventually you do the time mechanic, you pull the Master Sword, become an adult. So it's funny because when I started the game, I was very similar. When I was Kid Link, I was so scared, but after I started playing it and forced myself to kind of get through it, I started to gain more courage of playing games by myself, and eventually I was able to beat Ocarina of Time. It's like this transition of being a little scared boy in the forest to becoming a full-fledged man. It was that was kind of my little gamer growth. And it all took place in this game, dude.
You know what sucks? I never finished that game. I just let my dad play it.
Yeah, but
I saw my dad play it and he finished it. And I think I only played the last half of the game, just screw around a bit in his account. I didn't even make my own and just I didn't have the courage to play that. Oh, you know what's also scary is that freaking the Shadow Temple one.
Oh my god! I mean, there are a lot of there's a lot of creepy things.
There's also that floor and wall master one. Oh god, those things are scary,
dude. I absolutely love this game. Just the fact that that time mechanic is such a big thing for me. Just like seeing the entire world, a big old bright-eyed, like, wow, this is so exciting, and then going to the future and seeing how everything has just completely become depressed. And destroyed.
Especially when you go to the destroyed Hyrule town.
Yeah.
The sound is not so all jolly and happy. All you just see is death and just like destruction everywhere.
That left such a huge impression on me, like when I was freaking 7.
Especially when you go out to Hyrule Temple, I just see the smoking ring of fire in the mountain. That made it much more scary. It's like, nope, I don't want to play this game.
yeah, it was that's why it's like definitely like one of my favorite games of all time is freaking Ocarina of Time. It's just how much of an impression left on me, what age I was when I was playing it, and kind of like that whole development of being a scared little kid to being able to actually play the game without man up and not wet my pants every time I saw Be Dead.
I bet you did when you see them,
dude. And then when you go back to it now, it's like I was scared of that. Why?
Yeah. What's funny is that I think it's like, I'm not sure if they toned down the scariness in the 3DS one. I never got a chance to play that again. I still have the N60. I still have the N64. I should probably play that one day in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna. It definitely does not hit as hard as it used to, and I do know that there's a lot of there's definitely, from an objective standpoint, I can tell there's a lot of flaws with this game, but I love this game to death. It's like one of the first true 3D game experiences I had, because I went from Sega Genesis to this, and it blew my mind when I played it. So
I think we also played. I think when we first played A Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance, that was our first time actually playing together, like Four Swords.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a episode on its own.
You got like all the special stuff. I was still like a rookie. I was like a level 1. You're like a level 55 on the Call of Duty rank.
Yeah, I was broken.
yeah. And at the end of the game, he had that infinite spinning attack. I was like, "No, stop!"
Oh,
stop.
I remember that. That was OP.
Yeah, you would every time, man. Every time when we tried to gather the rupees, just like beat me with that. I tried to run away from it.
Dude, we definitely gotta like turn that on again. Just give it a try.
Yeah.
Go back down memory lane.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think you still have the Game Boy cable, right?
Maybe. I have to dig around a bit.
If you search it up, we'll probably hang out again next time and see how it goes again.
Yeah, dude. But
time to find the light source again.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's it. All right. That is
Retro Video Game Book Club. Here we go.
Video Game Book Club. Anyways, before we get to that, though, this concludes this episode of Video Game Book Club. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, everyone's links to their YouTubes, Twitches, Twitters, social media will be in the description box below. Take care, have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Video Game Book Club. Thank you so for joining me on this. I know this was a long project in the works.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
it was
worth it. I don't regret playing it though. It was a fun time.
It was. All right, now let's get back to finishing Ratchet Deadlocked.
All right, here we go. But anyways, say goodbye, man. We out.
Adios. See you later, man.